Kazar for local news that matters. This is KARK 4 News at 6.
The 8th Circuit Court of Appeals rules 2 Little Rock police officers cleared of criminal charges in an officer-involved shooting will face trial in a federal lawsuit. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Ashley Ketz. 67-year-old Eugene Ellison, you may remember, was shot and killed inside his apartment on December 9th of 2010. Little Rock police officer Donna Lesher and Detective Tabitha McCrillis were working there off-duty at the Big Country Chateau when they noticed his door was open. They went inside and a confrontation ensued. It ended with Lesher shooting and killing Ellison. His sons filed a federal lawsuit alleging constitutional violations. KARK4's Marcy Manley explored the Ellison case with in-depth exclusive video from court depositions that were provided by the Ellison attorney. Also, Marcy, these judges on the Court of Appeals ruled that the officers, they can face trial, at least on some counts in this lawsuit.
Yeah, that's right, Ashley. Today's decision essentially says that Donna Lesher can face 1 count of excessive use of force and that both officers will face counts of violations of the 4th Amendment because they went into Ellison's apartment without a warrant and without consent. Today's decision comes 7 months after the city appealed Judge Brian Miller's decision to deny its request for summary judgment. The lower court ruled it was clearly established that officers could not enter or search a home without a warrant, and while exceptions exist, a resident being mouthy, as one officer described Ellison, was not an exception. On the question of use of force, the court ruled McCrillis did qualify for immunity because she did not shoot and her non-lethal use of force caused minor injuries. Conflicting testimony by officers and questions of whether Ellison was actually swinging a cane led the 8th Circuit to rule Lesher will face trial on the issue of lethal force.
They're going to have to answer for their conduct. And if a jury finds that their conduct on that fateful December evening was justified, then so be it. But we don't think that's going to be the case.
Now, we did reach out to the city attorney for Little Rock, who is representing the officers in the city in this case, but we have not received a comment back from him regarding the 8th Circuit's decision. And Judge Brian Miller here at the federal courthouse in Little Rock has scheduled the trial for the Ellison case to start sometime during the week of November 2nd. In his order, which he issued today following the 8th Circuit's decision, he said that no continuances would be granted in this case. So I guess the schedule is set, and we'll see what comes next in this trial and what comes out of it and what a jury decides. Live in Little Rock, I'm Marcy Manley for KARK 4 News.
All right, Marcy, thanks very much. Again, you can see that exclusive report that Marcy did just a couple of weeks ago at arkansasmatters.com. The city of Bryant confirming 5,000 gallons of raw sewage overflowed into a creek last night that leads into the Arkansas River. KARK4's Drew Petrimo joins us now live. And Drew, these folks who live around there, they say this has been a continuous problem.
Yeah, and they're pretty fed up. They say the city keeps promising to fix the problem, but then it keeps happening.
This is where it all flowed into.
Archie Kissy shows us the creek in his backyard where 5,000 gallons of raw sewage spilled during a storm Wednesday night.
You can smell it here.
Yeah.
We were there Thursday as crews worked to clean up the mess. Bryant City officials say the spill happened when 2 of 3 power sources to a nearby pumping station were cut off in the storm.
When we checked the system, everything indicated that everything was fine and it was running.
That's because the single remaining power source was enough to keep the city's monitor working, but not enough to power the pump.
It was telling us things were okay, but they weren't.
Public Works Director Monty Ledbetter says a float in the well also failed to trigger an alarm when it overflowed, and the city wasn't aware until a neighbor called.
They're going to burp every now and then, and that's what happens.
Despite neighbors' complaints, Ledbetter assured us sewer overflows the city experiences are not out of the ordinary. But records from ADEQ show since the beginning of the year, Bryant has had more gallons of sewage spilled than 5 similar-sized Arkansas cities combined.
It's to the point that, they've got to do something.
For Kissy, the cleanup crews are an unnerving sight, especially since his grandkids play nearby. With the spills continuing to happen, he's frustrated.
You would be too if you had sewer in your backyard.
Now, the city says a $2.3 million project to construct a new sewer line and power pumping station with a generator should be ready in about 8 months. The city believes that will help with some of the problems it's been having. Ashley?
Drew, thanks very much. We'll continue to follow that story. Southwestern Energy laying off 80 employees in the natural state today. This includes offices in Conway, Damascus, Cleveland, and Judsonia. The reason, a reduction in operations and shifting capital budgets related to commodity prices. The company says it tried to give opportunities to those employees to transfer to other locations or positions, but positions were not available for every worker.
I hope people understand that we're trying as much as possible to support them through this transition. We understand it's extremely difficult, but there was not another option available.
Southwestern Energy also laid off a total of 22 employees in Texas, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania. The Saline County Sheriff's Office arrests 2 people after discovering a child with multiple cigarette burns. Deputies were responding to a disturbance call in Maybeville. That's where they arrested Anthony Pilkington on assault and violating an order of protection. But while they were there, they also arrested Destiny Walker, the mother of the infant. They say had fresh burns to his neck and chest. Walker now faces child endangerment and permitting child abuse charges. Pine Bluff police need your help to find a burglary suspect. Take a look at this video here. Detectives say this person, you see him in a striped shirt, has committed 8 burglaries that they know about. If you have any information on this man, you're asked to contact police. A Northwest Arkansas IT worker is accused of hacking into the Springdale Chief of Police's computer and then downloading files, including those involving the Duggars. According to a police report, Peter Ussery remotely accessed Chief Kathy O'Kelly's computer back on May 28th. Officers were looking into the timing. It was just 9 days earlier. In Touch Weekly broke the story about Springdale police investigating molestation claims against Josh Duggar. There have been differing reports on how the magazine got police reports involving the Duggars.
The detectives who investigated this, obviously that's something that they had in the back of their mind. We never concluded through the investigation that that was his motive. We've not been able to prove, and we have no evidence that he did it for any kind of financial gain or any other motive than just what he's given us, just out of curiosity.
Officers say Ussery now faces a charge of computer trespassing, which carries up to a fine of up to $1,000 and a year in jail. Ussery will be in court on September 28th. Cleanup is underway in Searcy after severe weather damaged buildings and brought down trees there. Most of the damage, though, can be seen on Ray Street at the apartments here. That's near Harding University. The university just had some trees down, but the Ray Street apartment took the brunt of this. Just a few feet away, they're missing a roof. 10 different units had to be evacuated after the storm, and tenants are just now returning to see the damage.
And about 15 minutes after I laid down, and it happened just at the top of the finger, the whole roof was coming off.
Any of our folks that on this end of the building, we're going to relocate to other apartments, and all of us are going to get together and get them moved and everything.
Now, the National Weather Service is saying right now it was caused by straight-line winds. We are your local election headquarters. We want to show you a live look now as several Arkansans are preparing to watch the top 10 Republican presidential contenders face off in the first GOP debate. It airs tonight at 8 on the Fox News channel, but there are watch parties like this one happening across the state, like this at Big Whiskey's in downtown Little Rock. Donald Trump, Jeb Bush, Scott Walker, Marco Rubio, and of course former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, along with Ted Cruz, Ben Carson, Chris Christie, John Kasich, and Rand Paul will be taking the stage shortly. Here in Arkansas, Donald Trump and Mike Huckabee are the only 2 GOP contenders with double-digit approval ratings. Now, according to a poll from the Log Cabin Democrat, but as of now, Trump tops that poll. And the Attorney General's office today approving a ballot title for a proposed constitutional amendment. That amendment would limit terms for members of the Arkansas General Assembly. And still to come here at 6 tonight, an Arkansas County Sheriff's Office is helping a man achieve his dream. We'll show you how a mentorship is helping a boy named Rock.
And the overnight rain and morning cloud cover helping make for a pretty pleasant start to this Thursday across many parts of Arkansas and Little Rock. 76 is where we started our day. Once that cloud cover cleared out, though, up to 99 this afternoon. We've got triple digits in the forecast for just about everybody in the state over the weekend. We'll let you know if there's any relief on the way in just a couple minutes.
Now from the station you count on for local news that matters. This is KARK 4 News at 6 in high definition with Bob Clausen, Ashley Katz, Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan, and Aaron Peters with the Razorback Nation Report.